Hello and welcome. My name's Tarana Ali, and today we are going to look at 4 interesting lessons from the book The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Point number 1. Hard work does not equal wealth. I'm sure a lot of us can agree on this, and that is the income that we earn from our 9-to-5 job is not going to get us rich. One minute the paycheck comes in and the next minute, before you can tell, it's gone. So clearly we cannot rely on our paychecks. We need to have some kind of side hustles that make us money while we sleep, and that is how we can accumulate wealth. And to do this, we need to first and foremost identify what exactly it is that we want to do and eventually how we can do it. In the book, Naval says, it's not really about hard work. You can work in a restaurant for 80 hours a week and you're not going to get rich. Getting rich is about knowing what to do, who to do it with, and when to do it. So basically, what's more important than hard work is to be able to make the big decisions, to think clearly and plan things out and move on to execution. Well, you cannot fully dismiss the importance of hard work here, but what is essentially more important than that is to be able to assess what exactly it is that you want to do and plan things out and make things happen. And once you've figured where to put in the work, you can get the results that you want. So this brings us to our next point, which is to earn with our mind and not our time. As we've previously mentioned, we want to spend a lot of time thinking what we want to do and the direction we want to head in, because those are the decisions that will have the biggest impact in our lives. Naval says in the book, we spend very little time deciding which relationship to get into. We spend so much time in a job, but we spend so little time deciding which job to get into. Choosing what city to live in can almost completely determine the trajectory of your life, but we spend so little time trying to figure out what city to live in. So how we can relate to this is that when our judgment of things is good, we are bound to make some good decisions because we have the wisdom and knowledge of knowing the long-term consequences of our actions. And so let's take an example of Warren Buffett here. He literally gets paid for his impeccable sense of judgment and credibility he has built over the years. He supposedly makes 1 or 2 big decisions a year, and those decisions make an impact that is beyond a linear hourly input versus output model. What he does is that he uses leverage to create more value in the same amount of time, thus the impact gets amplified. Because you're never going to get rich renting out your time only. Point number 3 is play long-term games with long-term people. Naval puts a lot of emphasis here on the value of compounding. He asserts that all the benefits in life come from compound interests, whether it's in relationships or making money or in learning. He says, if you are a trusted, reliable, high-integrity, long-term thinking deal maker, when other people want to do deals but don't know how to do them in a trustworthy manner with strangers, they'll literally approach you and give you a cut of the deal just because of the integrity and reputation you've built up. So when you find the right thing to do and the right people to work with, that is where you should deeply invest, because sticking with that is how you make the big returns in your relationships and your money. Finally, we have step number 4, which is the importance of being patient. Now, this has to be the trickiest part of the journey because a lot of us tend to give up here. The problem essentially is that we as a society are attuned to seeking instant gratification, and we completely neglect the fact that patience is key in the pursuit of building something sustainable. We cannot expect to see results if we don't stick around long enough and put in the hours. There's a nice quote where he says, "Great people have great outcome. You just have to be patient." Every person I met at the beginning of my career 20 years ago, all of them, almost without exception, became extremely successful. You just have to give them a long enough time scale. It never happens in the time scale you want or they want, but it does happen. I think this is one of my favorite quotes from the book, and essentially because I can relate a lot to it as of now, especially in the online realm. And now that I'm trying to build an online presence on YouTube, sometimes it gets really questionable, and I'm thinking very negatively as to whether all of this is worth it till the end or not. And so these thoughts do keep on appearing on my mind time and again, but that is when I tell myself that I haven't even invested the amount of time I should to be in a position to be able to say something like that. If we are going to build something of value, it is going to cost us our time and patience before we can reap the rewards. So that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully you could take a thing or two from here and it benefits you. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!